Bennett charging in behind, cut off by Barbier, feeding it through too much for Hania, and blasted away by Mitch Tainter.
They've started to get healthy, San Antonio FC. Reacción Pernano making his way back from a quad injury. Diogo Pacheco, another attacking player available for head coach Carlos Somoza of San Antonio FC. You know, the second season for him was always going to be about getting it right on the attacking end. Defensively, it was never a concern the entirety of the 2025 campaign, but the commitment of numbers up high and really maintaining confidence. That's something that you and I could both agree has waxed and waned, where they'll have these stretches, sure, a couple of shutouts, maybe they let up one goal, but the back line's never been a question. It's about supplementing it on the attacking front. And it is ironic that all of a sudden goals are coming aplenty and now they're conceding. But they have got 2 out of the 3 available on the back line. Mitch Tainter, Alex Cronali, the 2 wingbacks in Cuejo and Akeem Ward are certainly the preferred ones at this point in time, and Jorge Hernandez in the 10. Getting Thiago Suarez back within the middle 3, very important for distribution and coverage, and getting a 9 in form has to be the #1 concern for San Antonio.
On for Cuejo. And getting Jorge Hernandez more involved in the midfield is key. We haven't called his name yet today. They haven't had much of the ball, but he's an MVP caliber player in this league. He's 4-time All-League first team, Jorge Hernandez. And that right there was the first time we called his name tonight on Aaron Paul.
I do like what we've seen from San Antonio FC in the past 2 matches. They did it against Tulsa, they did it against Lexington. Releasing Jorge Hernandez, allowing him more freedom. A lot of times the structure for that front 3 is very linear, so you get 2 players to drop and act as 10s. The 9 operates by himself. Now that Jorge Hernandez is allowed to float more freely, he can be more creative. He's not as locked down defensively. He still gives you that coverage, but you need his mind to create, and they've been able to do that. So you see him cutting from right side to left a little bit more frequently. He's left foot dominant. That bodes well for San Antonio.
This might bode well for Colorado Springs. Hania had to get around. Deflection plays it out for a goal kick. They go in bursts. This Colorado Springs team in the attack against a San Antonio team that struggled defensively. This could be that night where that Colorado Springs attack gets right. Elsewhere, Miami FC are hosting Orange County. That game was slightly delayed due to weather, but it's underway now. And at halftime, it's 1-1 between Miami and Orange County. A Miami FC team that reached some newfound fame this week after Iller's record-setting performance, 15 saves for Curacao in the 0-0 draw against Ecuador at the World Cup. Holding down the fort while he's gone. Well, Jurgen Locadia is gone. That Miami FC team also with Curacao, the striker. Team's important. You know what Orange County does. It could dictate whether or not San Antonio can jump into first place tonight. One Tejada. A winning goal for Colorado Springs in 2024. Tejada looking long. It's a difficult battle going long in the air against this back line. It succeeded doing so yet, Colorado Springs. Now Burner looks it over everything and out of play.
Just keep an eye on the pocket of space, center left side of your screen, just in front of Sam Williams in the 6. With the movement that you're getting from Juan Tejada, as aggressive as he's being, Adrian Perez is also gambling on this right-hand side, just to the right side of the referee, number 10, leaning over. So what happens is you put a lot of responsibility and pressure on Brennan Creek and Sam Williams. If you're San Antonio FC, you have to be smart and take advantage of that space. When you're pinned down in, don't just try and release long as they've done the past couple of sequences. Instead, pick up the passage, play into that 10 yards, and then either play through or around it. You have the option of both. That's about decision-making and settling down.
All the way out, fed through it. Yosuke Hania brought down, decision to be made at the penalty. Cutting rest of the referee all the way. And a quarter hour in, Switchbacks will have a chance from 12 yards out. Important to note, no VAR here in the USL Championship, so it will be a penalty for Colorado Springs.
Within that, a big question in the lineup that you and I are looking at. Where were they going to release Adrian Perez? We settled on the right-hand side because of his ability to drive centrally, to take advantage of that front 3 stretching the back line, and then occupying the space in front. And while he doesn't get up on the end of it, he creates it. Great touch initially to come at an angle, to create the separation, and then open up the space on the far side and 100% contact him from behind. No doubt whatsoever that you point to the penalty mark in that situation.
We know who's taking it. He shows you on that graphic top of the broadcast. Corey Bennett leads his team with 8 goals. 5 of them have come from the penalty spot. Petruni is back and forth. Mind games going on. Corey Bennett fakes a quick kick. The whistle didn't blow yet, so it wouldn't have mattered. Some crowd ready to erupt here just 15 minutes in. Bennett against Petruni. Looking for his 9th goal this season in the Golden Boot race. Corey Bennett, save, rebound. Bennett taps it home. Colorado Springs up 1-0.
Pressure on the long ball by Adrian Perez. Great job reading the ball coming laterally, and as the pressure applies, he strikes 3 separate players from San Antonio. Opens up great space on the width for Yosuke Hanya. Taken down 100%. And the previous 4 have come to the left side of Corey Bennett when he drives through it on the right foot. But Trudy did his homework. The problem is he gets no help. That's a really good save by the goalkeeper. Probably should have collected it, but even as he spills the rebound, defensively, you got to provide support. A quarter hour in, it has been all switchbacks and the deserved lead.
9 on the season for Corey Bennett. Came into the night, tied for 4th in the Golden Boot race. This brings him into a tie for 2nd. Saw a very disappointed look on the face of Joey Petruni from a seated position after he made the save. Sort of looking around, wondering where his back line was. Nobody crashed in to make the clearance. They were all on the peripheries. And on goes that larger conversation, be it the long layoff for San Antonio, be it the travel, be it the altitude, whatever it might be, it hasn't felt like they've gotten off the bus yet, and maybe it took conceding a goal to get them into this one. Free kick coming now in the attacking end for the visitors. Right man standing over it. Jorge Hernandez, 5 goals, 3 assists this season. 11 goals, 7 assists last season. Started his career with the LA Galaxy organization, spent a year in Belgium, and has been the leading man for San Antonio since 2023. Just missed their title, joined after their title-winning season. Hernandez curls a great ball in. Save man by Colin Shuttler.
I mean, it's just an unreal ball by Jorge Hernandez. What a wonderful left foot. Brilliant pace. He drops it right in that gray area. Colin Shuttler, he hesitates for a second, then recognizes he can't come off his line because of how much English has been put on the ball, and that's an opportunity missed. Beautifully whipped in. Should have had an attacker on the end of it.
It was a San Antonio player who got ahead to it, but right at Colin Shuttler. Either side of him, and this game is 1-1.
I mean, what a ball. A necessary response, too.
I mean, there's no disrespect to anybody else in the league. There's nobody better at serving a ball than Jorge Hernandez. We've seen that over 3 years.
Right now.
Right now. We're talking about right now. We're in the present.
Well, I would say his form right now. The idea that there's nobody better at serving a ball.
Right now.
I think Aaron Malloy might have something to say about that.
Right now.
Listen, I'm just trying to make sure I get a couple of invites to Thanksgiving dinner still. I normally don't start turning those down till September.
Shuttler sends it long from one former UVA goalkeeper almost to another. Shuttler there from 2016 to 2020, and then maturity 23 and 24. Burner throws it in. Reacción. Get off Bennett. They didn't play any. Cleared it through the middle. And Creek wins it. Williams. And Rocha driving. Maybe the most versatile player in the 11 for Colorado Springs. Different positions he's popped up in. Now the left back for the Switchbacks. Always take a peek at the way you do your boards and the positions you have players listed as. I think the only thing you don't have listed for Rocha is goalkeeper, and I'm sure we'll get there at some.
He could play it.
Through quickly for Hernandez. Centers it. One wasn't there. Mahoney heads it clear. As far as Hernandez once again. Clever back heel. Maldonado deflected into the arms of Schuttler.
Had an opportunity to talk to Colorado Springs left back Aiden Rocha extensively prior to the 2024 final. And they took down Rhode Island FC, and the idea of where he wanted to play was null and void in the sense that he wanted to play. And he was a competitor. His coach at Georgetown, Brian Weiss, said the same thing, where he just understands the game at such a high level, Aiden Rocha. And so within that, he's a student. That conversation started in this VIP suite area. We were watching tactical sessions up high from San Antonio, and everybody had left. He actually was sitting in the back room because he wasn't allowed to watch, and he was watching video from the team earlier in the week. Rhode Island. From Rhode Island earlier in the year, and he was breaking things down, and I joked and I looked and said, haven't you had enough? And he goes, it's never enough. And he's always willing to go the extra mile to get the leg up on opposition. I respect that.
Player who was a former Big East midfielder of the year and first team all Big East in that position at Georgetown, and now whether the left side or the right side is mostly played as a right back or left back for Colorado Springs. And it muscled off the ball by Barbier. Barbier on this back line for San Antonio. One of that 2015 U17 World Cup team with Christian Pulisic and friends. Renato switches for Ward. Guilty party conceded the penalty. 15 minutes in, giving the Switchbacks the lead. Up and down these last two games for San Antonio. Only lost one, but they've also only won one with those three ties. Seemed at one point like they would create some distance. Ward tries to get back for Hernandez.
Struggle with decision making here. Really good runs coming forward. Love the rotation off the ball. This cut back to the inside. Jorge wants it on his left foot, but as he slows here, hit it right there. And instead, Cuejo, indecisive. Once you rotate it back out to Akeem Ward, your window of opportunity is closed. That's a really good example of what head coach Carlos Chamosa talks about. They got to be confident. You have to trust yourself. Even if you don't feel like it's the best opportunity, that's a really good look for the unit just inside the 18. You let it fly, put it on frame, and then see what happens.
Ball served in, just over Danny Barbier. Very honest in our conversation, Carlos Chamosa, for the talent they have, for the start they had, certainly feels like they should be in a better position than they are. All that being said, a win tonight, they could be in first place. So it's not quite like the sky is falling for San Antonio. It's just more of challenging his guys, knowing what their full potential is. A misplay from Hernandez for a goal kick. That's what you want from a team like San Antonio. You're champions in 2022. Every year it feels like they're there at the end of things, at least in the conference in the West. And you're not satisfied. Yeah, you're in third place, but you probably should be in first. And that's the mentality right now for Carlos Chamosa and his group.
Well, things continue the way they have for Orange County against Miami FC. Although they equalized, it wasn't the best of first half. They have an opportunity, San Antonio, to go first tonight. Virtually, anyway. I don't really want to get into the tiebreakers and live maths.
It's live maths that really scare you the most.
Yeah, it That jumps in the way. It's a real problem. I'm going to work on it in the offseason.
I think you've been saying that for about 7 off seasons now.
Hey, got to have goals. I'm watching that back line, though. Tainer, Barbier, and Alex Granali. Carlos Suarez, who's on loan right now from the Revs, picked up an injury. Should be out a couple of more weeks, but he did a really good job, the youngster, of controlling that back three. Mitch Tainer had stepped in prior. When you rotate Danny Barbier in, he struggled a little bit with organization. That's just about being proactive with your words, keeping everybody in check, being very specific about what you want from the guys around and in front of you. The good news is, moving Mitch Tainer to the outside, is they can utilize these cross-angle balls a bit more. He's one of the best in the business of pinging that 40-yard ball back across the field, but you got to get your spacing right centrally.
A dangerous ball through Bennett, off the foot of Perez. Hernandez trying to find a way out, goes back to Petrucci. Pressured by Creek. Petrucci just plays it out to touch. You mentioned that San Antonio can jump to the top. Colorado Springs, with this lead in the live table, have done some climbing of their own. Now in 4th place, just behind San Antonio.
That's the mess of the Western Conference that we haven't even gotten into yet. Coming into the night, San Antonio FC is in 3rd, have a chance to chase Orange County down in 1st. Colorado Springs on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. Was it 5 earlier? It was 5 points separating the final home playoff spot and missing the playoffs altogether.
I'm not even going to try to figure it out until maybe a month from now. And even then, I don't know if that'll really help us.
Talk to me on the 30th game of the regular season and to see where the West matches up. I mean, it does give you an idea of how tightly knit things have been over the course of the year, and the margins, they're just so small, at least in the Western Conference.
And that's why, if anybody at home, right off the top, we talked about these two teams being right back at it as the Stanford Bears in the Western Conference. If you were scratching your head and saying, why is Joe Malcolm saying Colorado Springs in 9th place is the good team in the Western Conference? Well, that's why. Because everything is so tight. Your 9th place quickly becomes 4th place. And guess what? If they go and win their next game, they might be in 1st place already. That's how quickly things change in the tight West. They're trending in the right direction. The teams they've beaten over the last few weeks, having all the win against Tulsa, or a team on a good trajectory in the reigning Western Conference champions. This Colorado Springs team was below the playoff line in name only. If you were to anonymously poll the coaches in the Western Conference, I think the lion's share of them might say the Switchbacks are the team they are most afraid of going forward.
Yeah. Balance in the 9th position, but overall they've already shown in cup play that they can turn some heads. They're one of only 2 teams currently in USL Brinks Tires Cup that has already secured a position in one of 8 quarterfinal positions, and they haven't even played their final group game. They also made a nice little run in US Open Cup play earlier this year before bowing out to MLS opposition Colorado Rapids. You could make the argument that they were the better team in that game, certainly had chances. Just looking for league balance overall. They have got healthy, which is very important. You're going to hear that a couple of times over the course of the night because of how many games and early on these teams have had to play. A ton of travel involved as well.
Sorto switches, long run for Ward, keeps it in play. Akeem Ward. And it's another assist for Jorge Hernandez.
That's incredible vision, though, from their 9, Christian Sordo, to hold play up here and then to pivot the opposite direction. He recognizes no support, and instead, it's not the reset button, it's a release to allow you to retain relevance up high. Really well done. Akeem Ward doesn't get the first bite on the second. How's the patience from Jorge Hernandez? I mean, unreal. Gets Brennan Creek flat-footed. Little cutback across the 18. Just puts this thing on an absolute platter to power through for the 19-year-old. Great ball movement and a response by San Antonio.
We'll be talking about Jorge Hernandez at halftime as we take a look at some potential mid-season awards around the league. Yerofeev, now 5 goals this season. 18-year-old from Moscow. 70 appearances, 18 goals, and 12 assists in his time with Dynamo Moscow's reserves before Yerofeev came stateside. Last season didn't really break out for San Antonio, just finding his footing in the United States. 13 games played, 1 start, no goals, no assists. This year coming out of his shell, Yerofeev with 5 goals and an assist now. Half an hour in, all level again. Colorado Springs scoring 15 minutes in. Antonio scoring 29 minutes in. 3-3 when these teams met back in May. We said there'd be goals. We haven't lied so far. Although I will say there's always a little lump in my throat when we say there's going to be goals, and we're sitting there in the 70th minute and it's 0-0, and we lie to the folks at home. Not tonight. Not tonight.
I was more concerned about our little peek at the radar pregame that
we were scared.
Fortunately, Mother Nature decided the gusts of wind would assist us.
There was a severe thunderstorm watch in the area that is still ongoing until 10 p.m., but it's not supposed to come our way. And now the sun is out after all that, thankfully. Freak lays it through. Playing from a seated position, Bennett is going to get called for the foul. The extra nudge in the end there from Beron. And everything that's come after could serve to spark things between two teams. Don't like each other.
There's high pressure once again. Quajo, good job. Collapsing in the pocket on the inside. He saw the 1-2 come in his direction. Great weak side support coming over for Danny Barbier. And Corey Bennett's not going to be happy with the extended arm from the Argentine. There's still can't play on the ground. What I know of anyway. Maybe your Sunday league game.
40 regular season assists now for Hernandez. One of the top 10 in league history. Bennett off the chest. Barbier skies it. And then fouls Bennett. These two are getting very familiar with each other tonight.
Yeah, that's also smart by the striker, though, take a little bit of pressure and go to ground. It's not a ton of shimmy within that forearm, but enough to see right in front of the referee.
I'd be surprised if this night ends without either or both of them getting a yellow card for their time together. Another free kick coming now for Colorado Springs. This time it's Hernandez who commits the infraction. Was that quote from Carlos Llamosa again?
And we don't like each other. Hey, these teams certainly have never been friends. And to be fair to Hernandez, I don't think he's trying to create an actual infraction of contact here. If you watch, he tries to step in. He's a little bit slow, and as he reaches, the leg just drags a little bit. He's hesitant. And the overall tackle to follow through, and it does create contact. There's any malintent by midfielder from San Antonio.
Free kick dropped in, punched away by Petruni. Play on, says Kalin Radosov. He collided with a teammate, so free kicks it alive. The Springs had a chance if they could have settled an empty net. Now looking toward goal. And whistle will stop play. There was no foul. It'll be a drop ball at the end of this. It's just Kalin Radosov stopping things to take a peek at Mitch Tainter.
You certainly never want to see any of your players down, nor Mitchell Tainter, but this is really well done by Joey Petrini. Take command, right? Absolutely be the aggressor. Make sure there is no doubt left here on another brilliant ball whipped in by Sam Williams from Switchbacks. That's a tough one, too. Right around the 6-yard box is where defenders start to look around. Do I stay? Do I go? Can't tell there if the shout comes, but you can't leave a seat of doubt, and the goalkeeper takes full control. Joey Petrini does.
150 appearances for Mitchell Tainer with San Antonio. Where's the captain's armband? Up to his feet. Hard to imagine the San Antonio team without Mitchell Tainer. Need to keep him out there, and it looks like he will be able to stay out there. He'll have to come off the field momentarily since the trainer didn't come on. Game in, game out. Last couple of years, mainstay. The Rock at the back for San
this year. You've got that kind of experience on the defensive side, an in-form attacker in Jorge Hernandez, who he himself could play into an MVP, and then a youngster at just 19 years of age, Micha Yerofeev. Now, you were talking about him earlier, how he started to get reps. You know, they changed. There was a conversation for Micha Yerofeev, and it was with head coach Carlos Chamosa about how, growing up at the academy level, he played a little bit of eight. He was very comfortable attacking from the inside and helping going forward. So what did they do? They played him in a preseason game against Tulsa, played him next to Mikey Maldonado. He was good. Put him a little bit higher, played even better. Gave him more reps, more confidence, and now 6 goal contributions for Micha Yerofeev in just 14 appearances this year. You want to talk about supplementing the attack with a 9? They're still going to need it. You get a partner in crime next to Jorge Hernandez in the 10th position, watch out.
Christian Perano and Santiago Patino both available on the bench tonight for San Antonio. The driving forces in the attack behind that 2022 title run. 2 very capable players that are getting back to full health. Start putting all the pieces together. If they come back healthy, if they start clicking with each other. Again, this is a team that coming into the night had a chance to win to come into first place, despite the recent rut they've been in. That's more due to the schedule. I feel like that's why we haven't been talking about them. They just haven't been playing. They've had 2 10-plus day breaks between games and a USL Cup game in there. Just 1 regular season game this month until tonight. We'll quickly be talking about them again, especially if they can come here and pick up 3 points on the road. And they've had considerable success against in this rivalry, and the 2 teams that don't like each other. 15 San Antonio wins, 4 Switchbacks wins, and 6 draws. Between the feet there, fairly defensively from Mahoney, and he sends that to play. Pendulum is swung toward the end of this first half in favor of San Antonio. Can he turn? Couldn't get out between his feet for Hanya, but he still has it to Hana. Now finds Hanya. Flag stays down. Yosuke Hanya deflected off Ward out for a corner.
Good job by Switchbacks to continue going forward, but excellent defensive pressure. San Antonio knows right away it's a full-blown breakdown. A track meet one end to the other. Guejo collapses on the space, and what you do is you prohibit Juan Tejada from finding the overlapping run initially, so now Hanya has to adjust, and as he moves back to the outside, that allows Akeem Ward to get down and parry the opportunity aside.
Williams will take the corner on loan from Chicago Fire. Season-long loan, joined this club back in February, swings it in. No success in the air right now against this San Antonio team, and that is typical. Bernali, Tainter, Barbier, best in the league in the air, and you've got them all on one back line. And they might be called upon again here with a free kick at the attacking half. Colorado Springs, it's Maldonado at the center of it this time.
Certainly in from behind and not allowed to push through the player like that. If Colorado Springs can start to regain some control in this game, it's going to come from that young man right there, Sam Williams. One of the things he's having to do defensively is stretch to the outside. Akeem Ward dropping, and then Jorge Hernandez, he pinches out into the space on the wing. Sam Williams is pulling out there so that they're still able to keep their back 4 intact and keep the game in front of them. But then on turnovers, he's out of position. giving him support so it creates 2v1s is going to allow Sam Williams to release. You build through him and you let him face the game. He's really good back to goal, spraying balls side to side, but the biggest progression that Sam Williams, 6 from Colorado Springs, has had this year is become more forward-facing and aggressive in possession up high.
Sorto's hustle wins this. Colorado Springs wanted a foul called, not granted. Now Sorto in front, still loose. Fave had a chance at it for a throw. Back player down back behind the plate. Contact there that Patrick Berner went down and stayed down. Berner, the 30-year-old from Martinique, spent a decade playing in France before joining USL Championship last year with North Carolina. Pretty even split in his career in France, playing in the first division and the second division. 18 caps, 4 goals for Martinique. Started their friendlies back in March. Can't see Martinique in World Cup qualifying because of their affiliation with France, but you see them in Gold Cup and Nations League, and they have really done wonders these last couple of years. They've threatened some of the top teams in CONCACAF, and Berner has been at the heart of that, driving up and down that right flank.
They cannot afford to lose another defender. Colorado Springs. Isaiah Foster out with injury. He's actually just made his way back. Is available off the bench tonight. You mentioned Duke Lacroix and Garma Tusala, who are away on national team duty in the World Cup. Injuries galore across that back line, and really whether it was in league play or USL Cup, that's the other thing is when you look at this team, we can talk about what they need to do on the attacking front. They have bagged 20 goals. Yeah. I said that earlier. That's currently tied for 3rd best in the Western Conference, 7th overall in championship play. They've also given up 19. And a lot of that, when you look at them making their own mistakes, you rotate so many players, you lose consistency in squad selection. Anybody's going to suffer from not having regular reps next to each other.
Feels like they will zone in at some point once the health comes, assuming the health comes. They've been so unlucky this year. Hernandez, blocked by Tejada. Rightfully so, otherwise could have spelled some danger. Antonio in 2nd place in the live standings. Win tonight could take them into 1st. It's felt rather ho-hum because of some layoffs they've had in the schedule these last few weeks. The win on the road against Colorado Springs would remind everybody of San Antonio's status. But here comes Hanya for Colorado Springs. Looking for support, finally finds it. Former Adrian Perez. Norman Creek. Williams. Perez once again, over from Louisville this year, finds Williams. Williams delivers toward Bennett, flicked away. Vital from Danny Barbier. Otherwise, Corey Bennett would have had his 10th goal of the season.
Nice ball in from Sam Williams, but notice how narrow they are on the left-hand side. That's got to be a better conversation between Yosuke Hanya and Juan Tejada. Aiden Rocha is fearful of releasing high from that left flank. Understandably so, with all the numbers that San Antonio possess when they transition on the right side. But within that, it's become a bit one-dimensional. So you come through the midfield, you come down the right side, you don't have the balance on the left. They've got to be more aggressive coming down the left-hand flank.
Williams gives the signal. Quajo again defending. The offside flag came up. A sneaky big pickup, Emil Quajo for San Antonio. Part of Phoenix's trophy lift in 2023, vital in that run in the postseason. Player with less experience with the LA Galaxy. This is his 2nd stint with San Antonio. Emil Quajo. Risking forward as a wingback with 2 assists this season. Doesn't forsake his defensive responsibilities. It's the life of a modern wingback. Have to do both. He does both. Free kick again for Colorado Springs. We haven't seen a card yet. Nothing has really risen to that level. But you do wonder if Colin Radosov is going to bring one out at some point soon just to settle things down a little bit. Nothing has been egregious. It's been tough for both sides, but I think that has reached beyond the limits. That wasn't really either.
No, but the argument from the home team there was, oh, we're going to transition. Did not have a promising attack. Yeah, it's a half-hearted argument.
And a lot of traffic there at midfield. It wasn't too promising.
Sure, and I was going to win the Golden Boot. Talk about that at halftime, too. Sort of. Kids call that foreshadowing.
Yeah, you are going to get a lot of people angry for one decision you made at halftime. We'll get there as well.
Yeah.
It is stoppage time now in this first half. And I'm not talking about your jacket selection today. I like that, but it's something else at halftime that I do not like. There's a reason for it, though.
I think the kids call that a tease.
4 minutes of stoppage time here in this first half. Another corner for Colorado Springs. Perez, driven ball to the back post. Tejada was lurking. Didn't make it through. Foul goes against Hernandez. He thought it was going to be called in his favor as he felt he was off for the races.
Watch his left arm, though. Pretty sure this is about his left arm, and he pulls over the shoulder before he's actually taken down. That's tight. You know, in my play, you could understand what my argument is, but he's more so jockeying for position as opposed to pulling. That angle, though.
That angle is a foul. He grabbed the arm.
He did get it right.
He did get it right. So did Kelly Radosov, who's a very good referee.
It has managed the game well. I will say right now, you're hoping that it settles so you can get into the dressing room instead of letting it boil over, and that'll certainly be an interesting walk down the tunnel for everybody involved.
He was referee of the year last year. He was the man on the whistle in the College Cup final. Very, very respected referee in the pro and college ranks. Coming over for a word with the combatants at the edge of the area, lining up for this free kick. Perez ends up putting that one on goal. I don't think that's what he had in mind. Away from the ball, Hanya and Hernandez were into it again. San Antonio's arguing that Hanya brought an elbow up into the face of Hernandez, and meanwhile behind that, Maldonado was also down for a separate challenge. So we might be getting to a point now that this is spilling over before halftime. Thankfully, it's coming now. These teams will have 15 minutes to cool off a bit, but Tejada and Mikey Maldonado are going at it. Watch the tail end of this one. Tejada is tracking Maldonado, lunges in late there.
Oh, boy.
It was away from the ball to the left side that Jaime got into it with Hernandez almost simultaneously. I don't think Radosov saw either as he was tracking the ball, and with no VAR, he can't go back and litigate. So no cards shown, just the foul granted. But I don't think it's going to take long for that first card to come out, be it in this last minute of stoppage time or be it to begin the second half. Radosov and crew for this game as tempers flare. Williams on the same page as Ward. Hernandez running out of room, cut off by Mahoney. 20 seconds to go. They can get a long throw in if they want. Send the bodies forward. Yeah, Key Ward's going to lead this now. Their long throw specialist, Mikey Maldonado. Center backs range forward. It's good awareness situationally from San Antonio. Seeing this will probably be the last play of the half. Bring the center backs up, get long throw specialist on it. And see if you can't steal the lead going into halftime. Maldonado launches it, and it rises to meet it. And before Maldonado can recover it, the whistle blows to end half number one. Colorado Springs took the lead 15 minutes in, courtesy of Corey Bennett. And that lead lasted just 14 minutes before Mitri Aerofave tied things up for San Antonio. Tempers flaring at the end of this first half between two teams who do not like each other. Two teams who are considered among the best in the Western Conference. They are even after 45. Ziggy was shooting fireworks out of his fingers before this game. We didn't talk about that enough. Maybe as this game goes on, maybe we'll see what Devin has up his sleeve for some awards around the league coming up after this. It's Colorado Springs and San Antonio, knotted at 1.
You've always been ahead of the game. Excellence is your default, and Lexus knows that feeling is unmatched. Their standard isn't for the average, it's for the...
bet the quality is going to be there. That
Always.
is never lacking for Jorge Hernandez, and he's still chatting with Colin Radisson. This is all spilling over from the end of that first half when tempers flared and there were a couple of maybe potential forearms thrown, some late contact after whistles. Keep an eye on how quick Colin Radisson is to maybe bring a card out in this second half and nip things in the bud. Cronelli has done well anchoring the San Antonio back line tonight. Dealt with everything in the air. San Antonio in the blue and white from left to right. Colorado Springs in the all black from right to left. 1-1 after 45 minutes. 4-4 after 3 halves this season between these two sides. 3-3 draw at the beginning of May. It was 1-1 at the half that night. What do we have in store in this second half tonight? Away we go. And have you with us on ESPN2. Devin Kerr, I'm Joe Malfa. Two teams who are sniffing around the top couple of spots in the Western Conference standings. A win tonight for Colorado Springs brings them into 4th and then be a game out of 1st. A win tonight for San Antonio would propel them into 1st place, pending the result elsewhere tonight from Orange County against Miami. That is looking like an Orange County victory. It's the 83rd minute, and they're up 3-2 on Miami. That does hold. San Antonio would not be able to overtake 1st tonight, but they could draw closer. We had Orange County on Saturday. Another team that sort of fits the bill with San Antonio and Colorado Springs, where the pieces are all there. The pieces haven't all been healthy. They've managed results along the way. They've left some points on the table, and maybe could look at it last half empty because of that, and yet they're in 1st place. So it's a giant ball of yarn to untangle in the Western Conference. Probably going to take until the last weekend of the season to solve it all. And the playoffs are going to be a gauntlet as well. Bennett, jersey tuck there, every step of the way from Barbier, misfires.
It's not that dissimilar an argument for Orange County as for Colorado Springs. A little bit leaky on the back line over the course of the year. Orange County started strong, but I'd say the majority of the idea for them is also finding form for a 9. You got some of that tonight if you're head coach Danny Stone, Yaniv Bazzini, former national champion at Vermont, bagged himself a brace. Stephen Kelly got involved in the action, their attacking playmaker, and Nico Benalcazar, Wake Forest man, 2 assists as well. Star-studded stat sheet.
The Woods, yes, a few minutes there to go in Miami. They lead by 1. Miami did just moments ago to make it 3-2. He updated when that one goes final. Ball stayed in briefly, now out of play.
There's no Woods in Miami, Joe. See Everglades.
Touche. Let's try to think of a comeback and that one. Good job. You win that round. Maldonado, Cronelli. Ward starts his run. Here's Hernandez, has some space, threading it through for Ward. Still Ward, he knocked it down. Ward almost got it through. Sorto is lurking, it'll be a corner.
This should have been the second on the course of the night, if not for Maple sliding all the way back over. Backline beaten, unfortunate off the deflection against Captain Matt Mahoney. Well done by Keem Ward to continue playing up high, and he's clever. Wants to cut it back across. Sorto right atop the penalty mark, but beautifully read by the center back in Talon Maples. That was a big pickup for them in the offseason, bringing him over from New Mexico United. Slow start in 4 overall, but he's got real control of that center back spot over the last 5 or 6 matches for Colorado Springs, playing with a lot of confidence right now.
We talked about it in the opening minutes of this game. For can need more direct has shifted ever since that come together moment. Showing off the corner. Back to Hernandez. Throws a great ball in again. We want to put a dive on the field. Hernandez will hit it. Loaded back over the top. Barbier trying it to center back. Reminder as a center back. You left him out of your halftime awards. Be kind here, Devin.
Certainly out of his comfort zone here. Barbier, that's a beautiful ball whipped back in though. Smart by Ward. Great first touch, push back through, and that's one there as the defender. Form over finesse. Like you want to just be as simplistic as possible, not put your name in lights, and instead dumb the game down, put your instep on it, grab the go-ahead. Oh, how's that behind the scenes? Forget the first yellow. There were some extracurriculars just behind our referee. I'm not going to be shocked if there's a conversation with the fourth official here.
He's chatting right now in the earpiece with the fourth official, Colleen Radisov. He's looking over in that direction. Fourth official Bowen Taylor still talking. Listening in the earpiece. Again, there's no VAR. This isn't some VAR room buzzing in. It's the fourth official talking to him.
Right decision initially, though. The pull from behind. Right, it's a promising attack. Girlfriend knows exactly what he's doing. Creek is off and running, so you take him down the yellow. I tell you, I mean, there's intent there. There's no doubt about that from Mikey Maldonado.
He did pick up the yellow card as well. So after that conversation with the fourth official, no red. It didn't think that level for Maldonado. Hands up in the book, so it's 0 fave and Maldonado together after no cards to this point. Back to back in one play.
I mean, you and I would both agree that's fair in the moment. You know, it's a subjective thing in the sense that if a referee doesn't have the conversation with the fourth official, if the angle's not there, was there enough, was there not? But clearly in our replay, and certainly what the fourth official saw on the sideline, is the contact is lower than if the elbow goes slightly gritting up high, catches someone up in the head area, you're in an early shower. That is the right decision with the yellow.
I'm going to go back to that chance now for Barbier while the ball's out. Would you have not gone with your head in that moment? It seemed like it was high enough. It was too low.
The only reason I say that is he's drifting a little bit. And so to try and move your body into a position where you're going to redirect with your head and maintain enough momentum on the ball, remember, that's tough. That's also why I lean in the sense of put your instep through it. You know, as you're starting to move one way, your body's coming across the ball. Laces are a difficult angle to try and attack. It's the easiest reaction in the moment, but the most simplistic finish and most efficient is going to be your instep.
Here he is again, meeting it in the air. Cornali went for the bite, missed it. Again, Barbier, this time in the air, causing some chaos. Could this be another yellow? Traditional foul again against Bill Quajo. Looks like they'll get away without one, but you could argue for Colorado Springs, how's that any different than what Irvine just did a moment ago?
I said hitting into the dressing room, given the fireworks that was. It was going to be action-packed and emotion-filled. Certainly we've gotten that 8 minutes in. What a ball!
A touch to bring it down from Perez. Take him a bit wide. Any recover here in the corner, battling Quajo. Leave this for Sam Williams. Will gather again at the penalty spot for a long throw. Really nearly pulled off the spectacular here off that header from Barbier. Just couldn't quite time it up. The net was empty. Shuttler came off his line.
Friendly reminder, Alex Cornali is certainly not going to lack for confidence when it comes to this fixture. They thought they had the game winner from him in the 98th minute, back on May 2nd.
Long throw, tracking Petrucci. The back pedal there. Getting a bit awkward.
Center back from San Antonio. Hit one from just inside the top of the 18 that trickled in for the drop in the 100th minute. Also, Alex Cornali hit one from the parking lot against El Paso Locomotive. If you haven't seen it, pretty much every social media outlet picked it up. 70-yard banger that still retained a bit of a dagger in the hearts of El Paso Locomotive.
Still a goal of the year, Kenny. There's been plenty of bangers. Crowley, Maryland Terrapin. Until minute 55. I thought you had the under on that. Corner dropped in. Tejada. Call for the foul.
Contact. Naples involved on the side of Mishainer. The pressure.
Sure, on a shirt in that quadrant there. Colorado Springs, but San Antonio plays out it. Has some space to work with. Tainter.
I really like the idea that initially is played out well. The problem is Sorto can't come low there. You lose the presence up high and you're one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Very fortunate. San Antonio. See, that was a lot of numbers committed up high. As they don't commit off the turnover, then all of a sudden you've left yourself wide open. Those are the type of moments that we've seen over a 7-game stretch that they've really opened themselves up defensively. Again, 13 goals throughout that stretch. Only 2 goals a game. That's not what they're about. This is a team that had 6 shutouts in their first 11 games, only 1 in their last 7, because if you're going to commit, you got to do it together. And if you don't get the units to follow suit from one end to the other, you leave yourself fractured.
Big theme in the conversation with Carlos Ramos, the fracture that you mentioned, disconnects between the lines. If you took each part of the field and divided it up into thirds, they haven't been bad at any of the thirds individually, but in the collective, it's the gaps between the thirds that they've really struggled. It's the opposite issue for Colorado Springs. It's a fracture between the thirds for San Antonio. It's operating in both boxes for Colorado Springs that has plagued them. In the eyes of Alan McCannell, that has been cleaned up a little bit these last few games, and they picked up some more wins. Here they go again. And play difficult for Anya to contort.
They're just looking for balance on either side of the width right now. Anya and Adrian Perez. I do like that they've kept Perez more on the perimeter, allow that midfield 3 to go to work, apply pressure, and because there's not as much release coming out of the middle, what you are allowing is you're allowing constant pressure just in front of the back 3. So your front 3 attackers for Colorado Springs can go man v man, and then the secondary wave creates a 3v2. That's exactly what you want defensively. You get the turnover, and now you have the man advantage. It's once they play in behind and you don't retrieve back all that movement, you can get yourselves into trouble. But that's not an issue right now. Much better organization overall on the defensive front for Colorado Springs.
The issue for Colorado Springs right now is Adrian Perez cannot continue in this game. He just got Spielberg up off the bench, and he will replace Perez. Doesn't have an assist tonight, per se, Perez, but he helped create the penalty that led to the opening goal.
What's more concerning is he's the one who just hit this ball onto the back post for Yosuke Hanya. Nobody touched him, and after the fact just has gone down on his own.
This is 11 appearances with 7 starts this season, has a goal. Maybe underwhelmed in Louisville in the last couple of years after a 10-goal season in San Diego in 2023. It felt like they might have been getting more. To be fair, it was a star-studded front line for Lou City. He took more of a complimentary role, had some injuries along the way. He's grew with Colorado Springs to some extent now this season. So Dennis Spielberg, another player who has had injuries that have really put a damper damper on things. Injuries cost him the end of 2024 in the playoff run for that title-winning team, but he was instrumental in getting them to the seed they enjoyed. Taking particular advantage in the postseason that year. Last year, played 25 games, but still limited to just 14 starts. Little knocks here and there limited his playing time, even though it didn't limit his appearances per se. Same thing this year. 11th appearance, only 3 starts. Player with all talent, Jonas Fieldberg. Hasn't been able to stay on the field for Colorado Springs. Dangerous when he's out there, though.
Glass half full, though, as the theme continues on the night. I do like the fact that you're going to see a switch here. With Fieldberg coming in, he'll occupy the left flank. Hanya will go out to the right. He's better out there. He's better driving with the game in front, keeping it on his favored right side, and getting down into the channel, making the backline shift with it, as opposed to starting to attack to the inside. And the one thing that had happened was he and Juan Tejada had trouble collaborating with each other. They were pinching in, playing too narrow. Now you get him to stay out on the right. Gives you better presence on the width of the field, better service into the 18-yard box.
Now we're gone. Half hour remains here at Widener Field, Colorado Springs, alongside the ex-German pro Devin Kerr. I'm Joe Mouth. Happy to have you with us this evening. Watching USL on ESPN. 1, Colorado Springs and San Antonio. Met to a 3-3 draw a month ago. It's at this stage of the game where it really came to life in early May. It'll spring more to life again now. Sorto, a little shimmy to the end line. Sorto, did it take a deflection? Did not. Eyes of the referee. Goal kick.
You do wonder with what has been a very intermittent performance on the night for Sorto, being effective up high, how long head coach Carlos also waits to bring someone like Santi Patino on. Christian Bono back as well. But specifically the 9 spot. Giving yourself the ability to be more effective. Sorto's had a couple of looks, but not frequently enough.
You get a final in Miami. Orange County tacked on one more stoppage time. The teenage reference Solis on the assist from Musan Silla. So 4-2 win for Orange County. They sit in first place. We'll occupy that at the end of the night no matter what. And regardless of what San Antonio does here. Fieldberg onside. As Fieldberg leaves it for Juan Tejada. Tejada blocked by Ward. Mendez drives one long. Behind the play, Akeem Ward is down. I think this stems from his block of the Juan Tejada shot. Need a moment.
If only were there a universal cure for such a moment.
There's your look, Orange County creating some space. All those teams at the top, Orange County, San Antonio, open in the live table on 14 games played. So we are comparing apples and apples. Halfway point of the season is game 15, so we are right about to hit that mark. Sleep on FC Tulsa, by the way. Really slow start to this season, now in 4th place within striking distance. The reigning Western Conference champions finding the groove again. Under Luke Spencer, right around the same time they found that lengthy unbeaten run last year that propelled them the rest of the way. Finding a groove, unbeaten in their last 4 games, 3 of those wins, now in 5th in the Eastern Conference. Now the time where the boys get separated in the USL Championship, although I don't think anybody's separating in the Western Conference the way things have gone so far. Spill for Anya. Well done in behind. Patrick Berner brought down.
course of the evening is trying to play direct in behind to their wingers. What a touch. Patrick Berner moving from that outside back position. Beautiful angle, clean in front of him, maintain his pace, and you almost have to if you're Quajo. Very fortunate that the contact occurs just before he hits the inside of the box. And just keep an eye open right here. This is a gray area with this angle where set pieces, things that you work on in training. Tough to go direct goal. Difficult distance to be able to get something up and down, although the left side of your screen, wide open, Brendan Creek. A lot of times team will try and triangulate, work around the wall to get a strike on goal, but Creek wide open on the back post.
Williams looking that way. Barbier heads it clear. Williams keeps it alive. Everybody's offside. In the end, worthwhile yellow card for Quajo. 3 to go now for San Antonio. Quajo, Maldonado, Irfave. Quieter second half so far. Jorge Hernandez, like we said though in the first half. If the quantity isn't there, the quality certainly is. All it takes is one. If he's lurking right now. Here he is, Hernandez. That time. Spielberg stood his ground. Well, still in play. Runs out. Maldonado. Painter raining on the left side of that back line. Chimosa likes him there because of the service, because of the diagonal. He's taking his space here. Quajo. Irfave. Back for Quajo. Silky. Quajo on the volley. Great would it end up out for a throw.
Not a bad idea though, and a problem for Quajo on the back end. This way it pops up off the deck, takes an awkward bounce, and he can't catch clean contact. I like the combination play. If you start to see Colorado Springs dig deeper into their shell, you're going to need even higher distribution coming off the back three from San Antonio, and moments like that from Mitch Tainer where he draws in that first line, just real quick, feeds the outside and creates the mismatch is what you're going to need.
San Antonio preparing a couple of changes of their own. Like Hernandez is preparing to come on. We have 1 game so far this season, 8 minutes. Works back into full fitness. I wonder if that might be for Mikey Maldonado, who's been a couple of pickles in this game with some extracurriculars and has a yellow. Cornally. Sorto. His minutes might be numbered in this game as well. Sorto cuts it back. Irfave curling it, deflected, and out for a corner.
Really looked like they outkicked their coverage. Christian Sorto pinned himself down into the corner, but great vision to keep the ball alive, to keep the play alive, and the cutback across it. Fine, Irfave. The scouting report for you. Great job to keep it alive, the play alive, cutbacks. From playground when you were 3.
Lucha and Tainer going at it here. Tainer sort of looked like he was on a slip and slide on his way to the box there. A little bit of a show from Roach. I don't know if it needed the reaction it got from Tainter, but veteran captain trying to elicit something. Swinger from the corner. There's it! Alex Cronale giving San Antonio the lead. Tempers flaring behind the play as well. Brennan Creek is down. Rolling around is Jorge Hernandez. See if we get a look at that. I don't know if we did. Rinaldi celebrates at the other end of the field. There's a lot for Colleen Radosov to sort out. When the dust settles, the visitors will have a lead with 20 minutes to play.
There's been one thing that's clear all night long between these two teams. Near perfect. Balls into the box from set pieces. How do you leave it that unmarked? It's a good ball by Jorge Hernandez, but Crinali just shifts back atop the six and powers right through it. Mitchell Tater's got rotation to the near side, which does create a tiny pocket. That explosion by Danny Barbier helps, but no reason whatsoever. If you're wearing a Switchback jersey, you don't get a body. Ties a career high he set with Orange County back in 2018 en route to the Western Conference title.
Radosov still sorting everything out from the infraction after the goal. The battle between these teams. Now the substitutions coming from both sides. That'll be all for Dimitri Erofave. He's replaced by Nicky Hernandez. And it's Pirano taking the spot of Mikey Maldonado. Those are actually will be flipped positionally on the subs. On the other side, Sam Williams gives way to Speedy Williams. Yosuke Hanya departing. Saddam Masareka. Two changes on either side. Trying to get this right back now. Colorado Springs. Masareko's first to it, his first touch and subbing on. Told that Brent Creek at the end of that exchange after the goal was scored. He did pick up a yellow for Colorado Springs. Stage is set for a dramatic finish now. Visitors with a lead. Tempers certainly flaring. Alex Crinali has a knack for being under the skin of opponents, and his celebration probably furthered that. Both the fans and the players wearing black tonight. Threaded through. Looking further on for Bennett. Sorto, it's Pirano, that last touch was heavy. Carries on though. Oh, through for Sorto. Won't get there.
Notice who had pulled out of the tackle, Brennan Creek. He just picked up a yellow for all the theatrics after the go-ahead goal by San Antonio FC. If he pulled him down in that situation, Christian Pirano would have brought them down to 10. Probably by the attacker to cut back into that negative space in front of him.
Ali's goal, his fourth this season. That's a number of assists from the corner. Jorge Hernandez up to 5 assists. Driving into the space. Tejada's calling for it. It goes beyond him instead. Dummy through. Burner. Williams. Williams returning this season after a year in Lexington. Won the title with Colorado Springs in 24. Overlap for Rocha. Centered. Cleared. The man with the go-ahead goal, Alex Pernale. It's the same issue popping up on the hands group that we talked about. Conversation with him in this game, just not clean enough at times with the boxes. Had opportunities, actually early in that first half, where they could have added a second. They haven't had too many defensive instances in their box, but one of the times they do, they get burned on a corner, losing track of maybe the best aerial threat on the field right now. Alex Pernale, who scored his 4th of the year. They can make amends, a corner of their own for the home side. It's going to be one you look back on for San Antonio. That sparks a run. A schedule that's been inconsistent. Multiple double-digit stretches of days off over the last few weeks. Heading into another stretch of time off. And they do so with 3 points on the road from the corner. And cleared by Tainter. It's the standard they've set as a club. And it's almost in year 2. They have one loss since mid-April, but there's been a bunch of draws in the year. It's been good enough. Their level hasn't been attained. Win on the road against this team. A big step back in the right direction for a team that will just be a couple of points out of first. If they hold on, 13 minutes plus stoppage. A fixture that had a lot of late drama when they met just over a month ago. Finished 3. Goals coming super late in stoppage time. This one's far from over.
They just continue to make friends after the fact, Colorado Springs. Patrick Burner, pressure over the back shoulder. It's really good read by Jorge Hernandez to close off the angle. Burner with another clean first touch, but the reaction from the playmaker from San Antonio, spot on.
Two more changes coming now for San Antonio. Christian Sorto will give way to Santiago Patino. And Jorge Hernandez will take a seat. Hawkinson replaces him. Hernandez sits with 2 assists this evening. Outstanding showing from San Antonio's midfield maestro.
And recognizing that they're attacking names that are making their way onto the statistician seat. This is just as much about securing those initial defensive lines for the visitors with just inside 12 minutes to go. Fresh legs. Hackett's there, Pirano, all the ability to get a lot of ground coverage, put more pressure on switchbacks who have become more of a 3 off that back line. They're trying to release Burner a little bit higher on that right-hand side. Rocha, Maples, and Mahoney to just sit, control more of the tempo. More of a 1v1 scenario has not taken place over the last 5 minutes because of the changes. Well done by Omoza.
He's down, intended to for a cramp. Hernandez now finally making his way off the field as a sub. In the league in assists all time. Been saying this the last couple of years, expecting him to go a level higher. As long as he stays here, he's going to continue toppling assist numbers in this league. Picked up Atkinson. for touches and subbing on seconds ago. Cuejo delivering almost instant impacts from the other sub, Santiago Patino, as well.
With the numbers that San Antonio are willing to commit defensively, you need to be more active with your two holding mids, Speedy Williams and Brennan Creek for Colorado Springs. If it's one player sitting behind the three, that's difficult for him to find those pockets. But when you want two side by side like this, you have the ability to create link-up play on the outside, crossing patterns, and then long passages to open up the game.
Williams opens it up. Fjellberg. Brent Danino for Corey Bennett. You see Speedy Williams healthy and back out there again for Colorado Springs. Leg injury kept him out until the end of May. This is his fourth appearance, only one of those to start. It came last game in the win against Tulsa.
Imagine they get him healthy and Williams brothers on the inside, Speedy and Sam and Fire and Ice, what they could do, the amount of control you would have centrally. Sam Williams alone from the Chicago Fire, Speedy Williams, who has come back, as you mentioned, the title-winning season of 2024. Only player in USL Championship history to win 4 titles. He's also the only player that did it with 3 different teams. Such a wide variety of systems, his adaptability, and contrary to his nickname, not exactly known for being fleet of foot, more so control like that.
Creek out wide. Fjellberg drives it toward goal. It skips up on that turf in a different way, but Petruni made it look easy.
Really nice move, though. And going right back to what we were talking about, quick lateral movement. You still have the ability to stretch coming forward. Excellent decision by Fjellberg. Just cuts it, hits the release. This is a much more difficult than it looks to be. Hop about 3 yards in front of the goalkeeper. All the more so impressive from Petruni, who's taken too long here, and this is one of the new rules.
One of the new initiatives this year. You're seeing it at the World Cup as well. Goalkeeper has to pay attention to the referee's count. If he senses you're taking too much time, he can award it and turn it over to a corner for the team. Approved costly.
That's not 10 yards. Neither is that.
Fjellberg delivers it. Comes out from Masarenka. That one's on its way to Denver.
That's a chance for distance, but it is a confidence builder. I don't know if it made it down the road or not. Certainly at least the Air Force Academy.
Hey, the air is thin here. That traveled away.
It'll fly, that's right.
Goal and 4 assists this season. First year as a goal for Don Masarenka, 21-year-old from Uganda.
And now you get into the different layers for Colorado Springs. I mentioned the difference about that down to the fact, releasing a road up into the field, giving yourself more options. There's comfort within 2 center backs of talent, Maples and Matt Mahoney. They need to be more aggressive. Those 2 guys have commanding the back line, starting the initial move and releasing the players in front of them.
Changes for Colorado Springs. Isaac Foster replaces Juan Tejada. Frank DeRomo replaces Brendan Creek. Just saw Niall McCabe, the lead assistant coach for Colorado Springs, looking at the back line and holding up 3 fingers. This signal is shift in the formation for Colorado Springs with 3 at the back, going for a goal now. He's just relaying that message to his back line. DeRoma. Big pickup, not in stature, but in terms of the move itself from El Paso in the offseason, passes, touch and passing accuracy, duels won, ball recoveries. He stuffs the stat sheet in all those categories, quietly going about his business in the midfield. Up there for Burner. Gilbert chips it up over the top, looking for Roma. It's fielded by Petruni. Minutes plus stoppage for Colorado Springs to find an equalizer. I'd like to remind you, though, when these teams met at the beginning of May, there were 3 goals scored after the 83rd minute. 3-3 draw is where it finished. Colorado Springs on the road had a 2-1 lead. San Antonio on the road has a 2-1 lead. 83rd minute. I'm not saying it's going to happen again. I'm saying plus 10 in stoppage. I think we've had that much stoppage time out there yet in this second half. Bennett chasing, so is Soreka. Column header back for Petruni. Notice if there was a time for Soreka. There will be a yellow.
I agree with this one.
Let's see if this is a future Oscar for Petruni or if it's an actual yellow on Masareka.
Going out of it, too. I mean,
no chance. Can't even touch him.
no chance. And I'd even make the argument that even if there's a slight touch, which there's not, he's not trying to commit a foul, create contact, anything.
Here fans booing the same look that we just saw shown on the board. A rare miss from Kalirana saw the official.
Little seem to work through the crack, head and toe. Certainly no actual contact after the fact.
I'm sure there's plenty of folks on either side of the University of Virginia or University of Maryland rivalry who watched that and had some flashbacks as well between Masareka and Petruni.
Little known fact that during the gold rush, many a French made their way to the western frontier, and apparently so is their natural dialect.
Hakeem Ward. He's it through. Parado. Well defended by Rocha. Out of play yet. It was. Hakeem Ward is lucky because that would have been an intentional handball and a second yellow for him. It makes sense to do what he did in that moment. You'd think that if you're down, you'd want to save the ball from going further out of play to get it in quickly. You're winning right now. Let the ball roll as far away from the sideline as they can. You almost cost yourself a second yellow in the process. To the 90th minute we go. Official word on stoppage yet. I guess around 5. It's been straightforward in the second half, but a couple of injuries. This one looped to the back post. It's just wide from Fieldberg. You could see he was running out of steam and lunged for it.
Well, you think he's running out of steam. I think he's fearing what's coming in terms of contact, and the goalkeeper hears footsteps. But Joey Petruni pulls out of this as well, but he hesitates. Fieldberg had a clear path. What a ball that was. Whipped into the 6 by Isaiah Fowler. I'd like him a little bit higher with the tactical change that we referenced. Getting that wing back higher is going to give him a better angle, as it will his attackers, but still, good opportunity, and Fieldberg should have done a bit better.
the Roma. Seven tacked on. Full opportunity for the home side to find an equalizer. Foster. Strikeout. Nice defended.
Yeah, really good.
Toronto dangerous with his dribbling in his own defensive third. Bailed out by the whistle.
Rocha frustrated on the back end of this, but just the lower portion. No contact here, right here from behind. Been to get a touch on the ball, probably, but also ED coming from a negative position. Always going to have the referee pull the whistle on that moment.
Soreka overran it. Recovers, but down by Pranali. Pranali will see yellow. Free kick in a dangerous spot coming to Colorado Springs.
Some good movements from both Isaiah Foster and Sam Masareka since coming on. The crossing pattern that had opened things up on the near touchline. He gets the center back to hold his hip for a second, and as his feet slow, good intensity on the explosion just in front of him, lures the contact in. And as we mentioned before, if anything's been true over the course of the night, ball situations have been perfect.
Rocha. On training ground, but out for a throw. Just frustrated as he goes in the Edwards at the end. He wasn't ready for it. He was still exerting his frustrations from the misplay on the free kick. Foster realized he threw it into Rocha, who wasn't expecting it.
He's got to pay attention instead. Long scooter right onto the back line. Soft, but the right one. Got to keep going here. His emotions gotten in the way. Aiden Rocha. Love him as a player. His versatility. Got to be better in the moment, though.
Atkinson almost for Patino. The eye contact started to peel away. Patino holding to make it through. Now it's Quisho. Step from Mahoney. It's out for San Antonio throw, and more time can tick away. Almost halfway through the 7-minute stoppage that we're given. San Antonio looking to get back on track after a 2-0 defeat at Lexington 11 days ago. It's tough to go into that long of a break after that type of a loss. You're just stewing that length of time. But as this game has gone on, they've gotten stronger. The team that's on 3 days rest looks like a team that's on 3 days rest. Jumper handball. Is it given? He thought about it. Oh, he brought the whistle to his mouth, Kelly Radisov, and they waved it off. Maybe a word with the assistant referee. Masareka launches. Loose in front for Mahoney! And it's over the bar! And a yellow shown for Shaw at the end of that. Hernandez, you saw yellow, some extracurriculars with the theme of the night.
Oh, Matt Mahoney. I mean, give the defender a ton of credit to even get into this position, continuing to commit numbers higher. I mean, wide open, but the deflection off the goalkeeper, way to make himself big.
From the corner. Masareka, well done to keep it alive. Masareka floats it. 2 minutes of stoppage remaining.
Let's go back to the no call. Really tough to tell. Thought I hit him in the moment.
Your mind tells you it does. Definitive on the angle, it is not. Colleen Radosov, he put the whistle to his mouth. He took a few steps toward the penalty spot, but then he waved it off. You could tell the wheels were turning. Perhaps chatting in the earpiece with the assistant referee, who would have had a better vantage point of it in that situation. Perhaps it was the assistant referee who told him no. The chagrin of Colorado Springs. We're still alive here. Bennett redirects it. Speedy Williams, rather. One more minute for San Antonio to navigate. Fieldberg. Ward defending. Commits the foul. This could be it. The numbers forward. They've scored a last-second tying goal to make it 2-2 already this season. Colorado Springs. It came here at home against Orange County. They manage it again. Spielberg puts one ahead. Peter got a piece of it. Still alive for Burner out wide. Eric Burner feeds it in the bar. Last good look for Colorado Springs. 7 minutes come and gone. Final whistle goes right there. San Antonio holds on to win 2-1.
After what was an incredible start by Colorado Springs, tactical adjustments, confidence moving forward, harnessing the emotion to their benefit. Create the equalizer, the go-ahead, and what has been just sustained belief within this group. Continuing to find a way to get results like a SpaceX IPO. Their journey to the top continues.
Conversations with the officials.
Signore, terminado Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 1. San Antonio Dos. San Antonio Dos. Kena San Antonio. San Antonio. Colorado Springs Switchbacks 1. San Antonio FC 2.